Hey everyone, welcome back to my second channel. This was for a long time used for a couple of art videos that I made, and I was going to do like a whole big art thing with it, but it turns out I don't have the self-confidence for that. So I figured I would just, you know, starting this new year, why not, turn this into just a bit of a second channel where I can do some fun little videos that aren't quite as heavy as my main channel content. And today I thought I'd start with like a little makeup video for you, because this is how I started out on YouTube, doing a few little makeup videos, trying to get better at doing my own makeup. And today I thought I thought I'd just show you kind of the process of what I go through when I do my makeup for videos, because I don't wear as much makeup as some people think. Obviously it's still a fair amount because I'm filming, but yeah, I just try and keep it really light, really simple, and mostly just focus on trying to make me look a little bit more like the me that's in my head, if that makes sense. So let's just jump into it, and I'll kind of chat to you along the way about my life, what's going on, my plans for the new year, all of this good stuff. If you can hear Kyra snoring in the background, she's currently sleeping down there in her bed under my desk, so you might be able to hear her, especially because I'm filming this video on my phone, which is unusual. So one thing I started using recently, because I'm getting a little bit older now and I'm worried about the wrinkles that I'm getting under my eyes, and also because I've not been sleeping very well recently with all the health stuff going on, so I look a little bit tireder than usual. So I've been using this little L'Oreal Paris Revitalift filler with hyaluronic acid. This is basically like a little eye cream. You put it on under here, it moisturizes, it smooths, it helps fill in all those little fine lines and wrinkles, and the kind of like little metal applicator thing, it's also really soothing, and together it helps kind of reduce that appearance of dark circles, and is also generally anti-aging, anti-wrinkle, all of that good stuff. So I usually use this once a day, usually before I put makeup on, but I don't wear makeup every day, so sometimes I just sit at my desk and pop a little bit on and hope it helps my eyes, and then I just kind of let it sit, let it sort of soak in for a little bit before I do anything else. So let's give it a second. One thing I will say is that I try and make sure all the makeup that I'm using is vegan and cruelty free, but that doesn't always work for skincare products, because there is a much narrower range of skincare products than makeup in the pharmacies and makeup shops that I live near, so I kind of have to take what I can get when it comes to stuff like this, because I do have sensitive skin and I've got to be careful with what I put on my face, otherwise it can make me break out in spots and rashes and make me itchy all over my body, which is a bit of a problem. So the eye cream isn't vegan and cruelty free, but I'm pretty sure most of the makeup I use is. Okay, so I don't really ever use any foundation on my face anymore, but what I do use is a little bit of concealer and generally a translucent powder. And at the minute what I'm using is this Soap & Glory one heck of a Blot super translucent mattifying powder. It's nice, it's okay, it does the job. My kind of general go-to favourite is the Soap & Glory Kick-Ass Instant Retouch Pressed Powder, just because this I find looks a little better on camera. But I recently ran out of this and I cannot find it in stock anywhere at the minute, so I'm waiting to get that, and in the meantime I'm using this one. This one's okay, but it does in general make my skin look a little drier, but it does very similar stuff, except it's a little more pigmented, which I'm not a big fan of. Generally this is better overall. This still looks fine on camera, but for everyday use it makes me a little drier, so it's not my favourite. To apply it I just use one of these little flat headed brushes. This is the Spectrum B01 brush. I love it. It's great, it's affordable, it's reliable, it cleans up really nice, and it's really good quality, and they tend to last really long, and they tend to last for a really long time. The concealer that I'm using is a new one. This is the e.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealer, satin finish in the shade Light Sand. Now, I never tried any e.l.f. products until very recently. I edited a makeup video for Elise, and she used quite a lot of e.l.f. products and seemed to really rate them, so I thought I'd give them a go. So I got this concealer when my last one ran out, and so far I've been quite impressed with it. I really do like it. Again, I don't use too much, I just apply it kind of where it's needed, so any little spots or blemishes I have, any kind of red patches on my face, and of course under my eyes because I have sleepy dark circles under there, and then I literally just kind of blot and blend out. I try not to rub too much, I just do little like soft blots until it's all blended in. somewhere and I need my makeup to last a long time, I will add some sort of primer underneath. But generally, if I'm only going to be wearing it for a few hours, or it's for a video or somewhere I'm going to be like inside, or I don't really bother. A little bit of redness around my nose because I've had some sniffles recently, so I'm just going to add a little more concealer under there and try and go that up a bit. There we go. And then I take a little bit of whatever translucent powder I'm using. In this case, like I say, it's the Soap & Glory One Heck of a Blot powder. Normally it's the Soap & Glory Kick-Ass Instant Retouch Pressed powder. These are very long names. And then again, I use the same brush that I use with my concealer, and I just kind of swirl it in the powder, and then again it's about just blotting it onto my face. Again, I try not to rub anything in too much, it's just about sort of blotting and getting a nice even coverage. So this again doesn't really change the colour of my skin, it doesn't offer too much actual full coverage, it just kind of evens out my skin tone a little bit, which is really, really important when I'm on camera, because being on camera, every little blemish is I guess exaggerated and captured and always stands out like a sore thumb, you know? So with this half of my face done and this not, you can kind of see this one just stops me looking shiny, evens out my skin tone, whereas this, you can see all the little pores and spots and everything like that. You can see little patches of redness, you can see there's a lot more shine, so that's all it really does. It doesn't change me too much, it just kind of smooths me out a little bit. It's not necessary, but you can always just pop a little bit down onto your neck if you need. This is more important if I'm wearing a lower necked top, because again, like sometimes you can see like a little redness on my chest, you can see a few blemishes around here and stuff like that, and adding a little powder just again helps even it out, and also just evens out the skin tone in general. That's more useful for the summer though, when I'm like a little tanned and tan to different levels in different places and all of that sort of stuff. And that's it, that's basically all I do to my skin, except a little bit of blush at the end, but we'll come back to that in a moment. The next thing that I do is my eyebrows, and I do kind of love my eyebrows because I think they make my face. For a long time I hated my face and I didn't really understand why that was. I think it's because I didn't have eyebrows to shape my face. My natural hair colour is very, very light, it's very mousy blonde, and I'll let you guys in on a little secret. These aren't my natural brows. These actually get tinted roughly once a month. I just use an at-home kit, it's from Revolution, but otherwise they are basically non-existent and I look very, very silly. If I can find any old photos for you, I will, because this is what I look like with my natural brows. It looks like there's nothing there. So I tint them once a month and that just kind of keeps them in check. But the other thing I like to do is just make them stand out a little bit more by using some kind of brow pomade type thing, and I use a tinted one that generally matches whatever hair colour I've got at the time. Sometimes I go for like a blondie coloured one or like a dark blonde, sometimes I go for a dark brown. At the minute I've got something in between because I've got this kind of purplish red hair. Generally I use some sort of like little pot of Revolution brow pomade stuff, but again, last time I wanted that, it was out of stock, so I had to get whatever I could at the local Boots, and this is a Milani one in soft brown. I don't know who Milani is, I've never heard of that brand, I don't know what they do. All I know is it was the closest in consistency to the Revolution one that I like, and I was in a bit of a rush and needed some brow stuff soon, so I had to go for it. And then this is a really old brush that I've had for about 8 years, I would say. Don't worry, it gets washed very, very regularly, and it is just there we go, like a slanted sort of very thin brush that I use to do my brows. So I just grab a little bit of the pomade on my brush, and then the first thing I do is kind of define the shape of the bottom of the brow. So I kind of try and do one single swoop if possible, if not two, and define the shape like that. Then without dipping my brush back in the pot, brush up a little bit and just start to fill in that shape a little bit. Now I don't like to define the shape on the top here, I like to let that just be natural with the natural brows, but I will kind of draw in a top line on this end here. I want structure here, I want natural here if possible. So here I just brush up a little bit, here I fill in completely. And that's how you get my brow like this, as opposed to like this. Some people might prefer this to this, but for me, this just makes me feel like my face has a little bit more structure. And it kind of, when I do the full eyeshadow and stuff in videos, I feel it just brings everything together a bit more. Really, it's just down to personal preference. Like everything with makeup, it's not really a right or wrong. You've just got to figure out what you like on yourself and go for it. What I like about using a brow pomade as opposed to a powder or anything like that is that it both keeps the eyebrow hairs in place and it gives you that little bit of tint and fills in and gives you a little bit more volume, so it's kind of a 2-in-1, you know? I feel like the older I'm getting, the narrower I'm making my brows, and I don't know if that's a good thing or not. Guess we'll see, won't we? Next thing I'm going to do is my eyeshadow, and I'm quite excited about this because I just got these new eyeshadow brushes from Revolution. They are a DC Revolution collaboration and they're all Poison Ivy themed, so I don't know if you can see this, but they are so cute, and there's a whole set of them. So you've got this really gorgeous thin one for doing details and eyeliner and flicks and under eye and stuff like that. You've got this one here that kind of reminds me of a paintbrush, which is great for packing on colour, and then somewhere there's another flatter one which is great for packing on glitter and metallic shades as well if you don't want to use your finger, but I tend to use my finger for that a bit more. But for me, this fluffy one is my favourite. I have quite a few eyeshadow brushes with this shape of head like this. It's round tipped, fluffy, very, very soft. A lot of people ask me how I blend my eyeshadow so well, and these brushes are the secret to that. So I'll show you. Now, when I do my makeup in videos, I have a couple of eyeshadow palettes that I really like to use. They're kind of my go-tos. And I have quite a few eyeshadow palettes, but these are my favourites. This is the Rude Lingerie Collection Romantic Nights, and this is a set of gorgeous matte nude eyeshadows that go with absolutely everything. This is like the perfect base collection, especially if you have quite a yellowy warmish undertone to your skin like I have. You've got some gorgeous brown shades in here, some slight purples, these gorgeous peachy colours, and a really nice neutral set of browns, and then these really lighter shades that can either act as like a highlighter or a blending colour. Brilliant, so versatile. When I want a pop of colour, I use this Rude Roaring 20s Reckless palette, which is super bright, super gorgeous. As you might be able to see on camera, some of my favourite shades here are these bright, gorgeous orangey colours. These browns and purples down here make great sort of darker shades for doing like a shadow in the crease. I love these metallics so, so much. The greens, beautiful as well. Basically, a gorgeous, really nice palette. And then what I got the other day, because if you hadn't guessed, Revolution had a sale, so I got myself a few goodies. And again, from the DC Poison Ivy collab, I got this gorgeous little eyeshadow palette. I mean, look, it's so cute. Even the mirror is shaped like a ivy leaf. Ivy is all over it. I think this is gorgeous, and I've only used this a couple of times so far, but I really, really like the colours. I haven't done anything with these greens yet, but to match the jumper today, we are going to be doing an orangey red kind of eyeshadowy look, and I think I'll just make it up as we go along, so why not? So we're going to start with this colour here, which is just called Poison Ivy, and it's kind of like a really nice warm orangey tan colour. I'm going to grab a little bit on my brush, and I always go above the crease, starting in this outer corner and build up here. So I kind of pat on colour here and then blend it out a little bit into the corner here and up onto my brow bone as well. Does that make sense? This is like my go-to way of applying all eyeshadow ever. I think it's really important with eyeshadow to build up in really soft, subtle layers. So this is what is so great about this fluffy round brush. You can use it to pack on the colour and then blend out at the same time. And I kind of blend in really like small circles, if that makes sense. Basically just pushing the powder around your skin. And you don't want to go heavy with this. You don't want to be like pushing in like that. You just want to be really gently brushing the surface like that. That's the kind of motion you want to do. Does that make sense? Now with this first kind of colour or shade, I just like to give myself an idea of where the eyeshadow is going, where the colour is going to be packed on, and then I can go in with another brush. I like to take a darker shade. Now I'm not sure if I'm gonna go for a brown with this or a red, but I think because we're on camera we're gonna go for something a little bit fun and go with the red, because why not? Sorry, I wasn't filming there, my bad. So I'm using the copper shade for this because why not? I'm gonna make sure the brush is completely covered on all sides, and I'm going into the sort of the crease of my eye here and the sort of top of my eyelid, but only on the outer half of my eye. And then I'm just gonna pack it on like this. Then when I'm happy with the placement and the amount of colour on there, I'm going to go back to this fluffy brush without putting any more product on it and just start to blend this out a bit. So I'm blending this kind of up and out, if that makes sense. Have some more product on the brush and back onto this eye. Remember at this stage I'm mostly just packing the product on and trying to get the placement right. And then over with the fluffy brush, then blending up and out. At this stage, if you feel it isn't blending, go back in with your first colour and kind of make that blend a little smoother. But I kind of like how this is looking, so I'm not going to do that. Then I'm going to take this little really tiny thin brush, and I think we're going to take this brown shade here, which is called Kiss Me. I'm going to get a little bit on the brush. I'm just going to start adding it under the eye here. It's nice, but it's not as dark as I wanted, so I'm just going to match it on this side. Then we're going to try with this copper red here. I'm going to try this. This could make me look ill. It might look good. It's all about experimenting. That's what makeup's about, right? Okay, no, I actually quite like it. Now again, you don't want a heavy line under the eye, because if you make this too thick and too straight, it's going to bring your eye down, it's going to make you look tireder, it's going to make it look heavier, it's going to look silly. So you kind of want to pack the colour on as close to the waterline as possible, and then very subtly blend out, so you don't have a straight edge. You want a really fluffy, soft edge to the eyeshadow under there. And then I bring it up and out, so it's almost like a wing. Not like an eyeliner wing where it's sharp, but just so it extends the eye a little bit. And once again, back with the fluffy brush and blend this all here. I feel I want a little bit more of a pop here, so I'm going to take a little bit of the shade Toxins here, which is mostly like kind of a colour shade but with a little bit of sparkle in it, so I don't want too much of this. I'm just gonna pack on a little bit up here to make it a little brighter. There we go. It's kind of bold. Isn't it, Kubi? You having a grumble under there? You grumbling, baby? I like that. And now I'm just going to do the same on the other eye. You might also notice with this under eye colour, I'm only going about 3/4 of the way along. I'm leaving this in a corner empty, and that's because if I pack too much dark colour in here, it's going to make my eyes look too tiny and too small, and they're already quite small, aren't they, Kuberry? You having a grumble? Bless her. Yeah, I already have quite small eyes. I don't want to make them look smaller. So a way to make your eyes bigger is to add a really bright colour here. Specifically, a metallic colour can work really well. So either a pop of white or a top of a bright metallic, and that opens the inner corner and makes your eyes look a bit bigger. And at this point, I take a break to go and get my baby bear a little snack, because apparently she's hungry. Okie pokey, I'm back and I have a happy girl. Right, next thing I'm going to do is I like to add shimmer to the lids. So you've probably seen over on these palettes, I have certain shimmer shades that I use quite a lot. You can probably see the indentations on pretty much every shimmer here except some of the blues. Even they've been quite loved. One of my favourite go-tos is this beautiful copper shade here called Doll. I use Jazz Night quite a lot as well. But today we're sticking with this tiny little Poison Ivy palette, and we are going to go with this gold shade in the centre here called Mother Nature. Now I like to apply metallics with my fingers just because I can get more coverage. I can be kind of, you can apply it thicker with your finger, I find, than with a brush. I find that with a brush it kind of wastes more product and you don't get tacked on reasons. So I always go in with usually a middle finger like this, just because I find I can have a bit more control over it. So rub a little bit on your finger like this, and then literally just pack it onto the eyelid. And I do this basically by kind of patting and then smearing slightly. Now these Revolution shades are nice, but they're not quite as pigmented as, say, the Rude ones are. But I kind of don't mind that for this look. I think the subtle shimmer kind of works. Now you might have noticed I'm packing it on most thick, I guess you could say, in this inner corner, and then kind of blending it out to this outer corner here, where I still want a little bit of the red shadow underneath showing through, so it still creates a slight gradient, a subtle one, but it's there a little bit, you know? Then I'm going to take my little finger and just apply a little bit to the very inner corner of my eye. And this is what I said before about kind of making it pop and opening your whole eye up. There you go. I don't know if you guys can see that. Not sure how well the camera's picking that up, but it's there, you know, it's all good. And now I'm just gonna clear that eyeshadow with my fingers on a little makeup wipe. I tend to remove my makeup with, I've got these kind of fabric makeup remover pads, but they're all in the wash at the minute. So when they're not in the wash, I just use little cotton wool pads and a micellar water for removing it. Okay, now it's time to look at your face straight on and figure out if your eyeshadow is even. And I feel like it's not. So I'm just gonna go in, kind of blend it out. Just look at yourself straight on in the mirror, which isn't helpful for you guys with the camera there, but it is for me with the mirror here. And just blend everything. With basically an empty brush, you're just moving around the product that's already there until it all looks even and blended enough. But it's fine, remember your eyes are sisters, not twins. It's okay for them to be a little different. I'm gonna go in with a little bit of my favorite eyeshadow, which is this tiny little Revolution, I don't know what it's called, but it looks like a little gold pen and it has a little brush nib and it's a great little eyeliner. This used to be £4, it's gone up to £5 in recent years, but it's stuck at that price for like 3 years now. It's a really reliable liner. I really like it. It's easy to use. It is my go-to liner and it lasts absolutely ages. And when I do my eyeliner, I basically just tightline the outer corner here. I think it's called tightlining. Basically, I put a tiny thin black line in the outer half of my eye as close as I can to the lashes, right into the inner corner. Outer corner. Outer corner. Then from the outer corner, I kind of go up and I try and keep it at an angle, like the same angle that my natural eye goes up at. Whether I manage that or not is another thing, but that's what I aim to do. And I do a tiny flick and then connect it along. I don't know if that makes sense, but that's what I'm doing. Let me try and move the mirror so you can sort of see exactly what I do, hopefully. Just a tiny flick there. And I drag it along to match up with the middle of my eye. You can kind of see that shape. That make any sense? And then I try and match it on the other eye and it may or may not work. Okay, and that will do. Then, because I have absolutely no natural lashes, I need quite a lot of mascara to make me look human. This one that I use is the Urban Decay Perversion mascara. This one I have bought a couple of times now thanks to Alizi. I saw her with absolutely stunning beautiful eyelashes in a video once and I said, oh my god, you look beautiful, what is that mascara? And she said, it's the Urban Decay Perversion one, and I said, I'm buying it right now, and I have been buying it ever since. So I really like it. I like how it makes my eyelashes look, and if you don't like it, blame Alizi. Can you see what a drastic difference that makes to my eyes already? It's like I just have no natural lashes. They are so flat, they are so short, they are so light. It looks like there's nothing there if I don't wear mascara. And then I put mascara on and suddenly I look human. I do a tiny bit on the bottom lashes, not a huge amount. And again, only on the outer bottom lashes. I'm not trying to make it look like I'm wearing too much makeup when I put mascara on. I just want to make it look like I actually have some lashes. The aim with mascara for me is to make me look like a normal human. There we go. And that'll do for mascara. So this is all coming together great, isn't it? I've got some skin, I've got some eyes, I've got some eyebrows, but the powder does such a good job of evening out my skin, it also kind of makes it look a bit flat. So let's add a little bit of colour back. For this, I have a very old and reliable blush palette that I use. This is a Revolution blush palette in the shades Hot Spice. It is lots of peachy, orangey, pinkish blushes. I have had this for 2 or 3 years now, which means it's probably getting ready for replacing, but I'm lazy. It's reliable. It's not caused me any problems so far, so I'm gonna keep it for a while. And you might be able to see I've nearly hit pan on quite a few of these shades because I use them quite a lot. I think for this look, because this is so bright and light, we are going to go with a light peachy pink shade, probably this one right here. Now, I have a problem with blush in that I don't know where it's supposed to go, so I have to make it up. So I'd like to start by, I look in the mirror, I smile, I see where the apples of my cheeks are, I pop a little bit here, and then I blend it out up here, and I kind of get thinner as I go. I don't know if that's the right way to do it, but that's the way that I do it. And I always struggle because looking in the mirror, I already think this is too much blush, but looking on camera, you can barely see it. So this is where I have issues in my regular life versus my YouTube life. Right, because what is a lot of makeup in real life can look like absolutely nothing on camera. And so I can sometimes do this really over the top makeup and think, you know what, this looks absolutely fantastic for filming. I look great. I'm so happy with this. And then I forget I'm wearing it and I go take Cara for a walk and wonder why people are looking at me like I'm insane. And if I find I have put too much on and I don't really like it, I take this flat brush again and whatever translucent face powder I'm using, and I literally just grab a little bit of this and blend it out. And this just helps tone it down a little bit and blend it out and make it look a bit more natural. Yeah. There we go. QB's having a grumble again. Hi, baby bear. Now, because this is for a makeup video and we want to do something bold and crazy and out there, and also I've been trying to be a little bit more bold with my makeup recently. I feel for the last year I've been using a lot of nude pink lipsticks, which I like, they look great, but I kind of want to have some... I want to have more fun. Those words did not come out. So I've been trying some red lipsticks out. I've tried a few recently and I've been a bit hit and miss with what I've liked and what I haven't liked, and I finally found one that I love, and it's not in my makeup bag. So now I have to ask, what handbag did I leave it in, and how long is it going to take me to find it? I'll be right back. Okie dokie, we got it. I checked every single handbag only to remember I'd put it back on my actual makeup shelves while I was tidying the house and remaking my office. So thanks past me for being organised and screwing me over, because I never do that and I don't expect it. No, we found it though. So if you can't tell, this is my favourite brand of liquid lipstick. I love it. These are the NYX Lingerie XXL what would you call them, liquid lipsticks. I don't know if they've got another name. I think they're great. They are long lasting, they're matte, which I really like personally. They look beautiful, they're easy to apply, they feel great on the lips. I have them in many shades. One of my favorites is this one, which is XX Expose Me. I have another slightly darker pinky one somewhere which I really like as well, and then my current favorite that I've been wearing more and more recently is this one, which is Untamable, and this is a gorgeous red shade. So I'm gonna line my lips first with a little bit of this Poison Ivy lip pencil from Revolution. I don't know if this has a colour. It is some sort of red. It's nice. Again, I feel like as I'm getting older and I'm getting more kind of tiny micro wrinkles around my mouth, it's getting more and more important for me to actually line my lips before I wear anything on them, because otherwise, lots of bleeding. Product bleeding, not literal bleeding. I find that one of the best things you can do when you're lining your lips or applying any kind of bold lip colour is stick as closely as possible to the shape of your lips and then look at yourself head on and even out where your lips are uneven, because everyone's lips are unsymmetrical in some way or another. For me, it's these bits here that are unsymmetrical, and you can't really tell naturally when I'm not wearing any makeup, but the minute you put a bold lip on, it becomes really obvious. So I can never remember which side it is, but one of these sides here with the top lip, oh, I can see now. This side here is a lot flatter and slopes inwards a lot more than this one, which is rounder and slopes outwards. So that's something I have to kind of correct when I'm applying a bold lip colour, and I have to slightly overline this side here and make it slightly bow outwards so it matches this side. Not everyone will have this problem. For some people it'll be more subtle, but it's just about kind of learning and getting to understand your own lips and your own lip shape and picking up on what you need to do to make you look as you picture yourself in your head, you know? I'm very lucky that one thing that is symmetrical on me is my Cupid's bow, because I could not make that symmetrical otherwise. I do not have that skill level. So at this point you might be able to see the difference already. This side comes out a lot further than this side. So now I need to overline this side slightly to match this one. Not so much that it's noticeable, just I'm evening out what's happening naturally here. And when I say overlining, we are talking less than a millimeter here. It's really important to keep stepping back and look at what's happening from a distance. I've got a mirror over there on the wall that I like to look at, so I can be like, yeah. It helps point out any really obvious flaws that you might not be able to see close up when you're right on top of things. Yeah. And then once I'm happy with the shape, I can go in with my actual liquid lipstick and just fill it in. Now, one mistake that I see a lot of people making with especially bold lipsticks is going right into the corner of their mouth. And yes, your lip does extend that far, but you don't need to apply product all the way in there, because otherwise it's going to end up making this bit look a lot wider than it is, and that's how you look like you have lipstick splooching out the corners of your mouth. If you kind of stop, probably like, I like to like imagine about half a finger's worth here. Stop about half a finger's worth from the inner corner of your mouth with, you know, lipstick, and it creates a much more flattering shape. Now, this won't be true for everyone. Some people you will be able to get away with going into the corners, some people might need that, but I think for the majority of people, you don't need to go that far in with dark lipstick colours, like when you're doing like a dark brown, a dark purple, a red, anything really bold. Less really is more. And now, because I can, because it is makeup for a video like this, I'm just going to add a little bit of highlighter. I don't normally, but again, Revolution had a sale on and I got this. It's so cute. It's from their Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory themed makeup sets. This is one of their golden eggs and it's a golden highlighter. It is so cute. I love this so much. I'm going to get like a little flat brush for this and just apply a tiny amount of highlighter just here on my cheeks. And again, you can help to smile as you do this so you can see where you want the reflection. I don't think I'd wear highlighter for like going out somewhere in day-to-day stuff, but I think on camera it can just look quite cute. Oh, Kubi's grumbling again. Again, I'm not really smearing this on, I'm just tapping it. Now when I do highlighter, I like to do a little bit just under my brow bone. And some people like to put it on your nose. I don't. And that's pretty much me done. Again, I don't really use like a setting powder or anything like that because I don't think I need it for like makeup when I'm filming or just a date night or something like that. I guess if I was going out dancing, I'd probably use it because then, you know, you sweat, you get tired, all that stuff. You probably do need a setting powder then, but I don't really do that very often. Mostly I'm just kind of sat here doing my own thing, so yeah, what can you do? And there you go, that's a complete makeup look. Come say hi, Kubi. Oh, hi, gorgeous girl. Come jump up. Ready, everyone? 1, 2, 3. Come say hi. Ready? Big jump onto my lip. Oh, good girl. What do you think of Mummy's makeup? What do you think? What do you think? You're a good one, aren't you? Yes, you are. You're a good girl. What do you think, Kubi Bear? Oh, I'll never be quite as beautiful as you, though, will I? Thank you. That's it. Lick it all off. Now it's just been put on. Good girl. Good girl. Alright, while you're here, why don't you tell everyone, did you have a nice Christmas? Yeah? Tell them you got lots of presents. And you had a Christmas dinner, didn't you? And you played with all these toys. You got all your snacks. Yeah? She opened her presents. You're thinking, because you're very tall, aren't you? You're very high up. Where are you going, little penguin? Where are you going? I've been replaced. Bye guys, this is Kubi's channel now. Yo, I am here to talk about balls and snacks and balls. There are many different kinds of balls. All are perfect. I love you, baby bear. I love you. Mwah. You're a good one. You're a good one. Alright, well, thank you for watching us both today. I'm gonna see you stealing the show. That was right in my eye. Good girl. This one. Do all this hard work and then you just come in, steal the show, being perfect. Isn't it right? Oh, I love you so much. Can you see yourself? Is that Kyra? Where's that beautiful girl? Don't be embarrassed. You're beautiful, you know you are. But anyway, thank you so much for watching today. Hopefully I'll be making more little short videos like this and fun ones, and I don't want to say low effort ones, but low emotional work ones. Does that make sense? Here over on this second channel this year, I'll maybe talk about some books, I'll maybe do some Lego building, I will maybe do some art stuff, we might do some Kubi videos, isn't that right? Some little nature walks, I don't know, whatever we feel, little vlog style things. We'll just play it by ear. No big promises, but I'll just make what I can and do what I can. And if you have liked this though, it would be great if you want to leave a comment. Don't forget you can subscribe to my main channel where I do lots of in-depth book reviews, social commentary, lots of feminist content, lots of pro-LGBTQ+ content. Lots of you showing up being cute, isn't there? Yes. I know. Lots of poetry analysis and all sorts of stuff like that. So that's over on my main channel, but if you like this video, I'll leave a list of all the products that I did use to do this makeup look here down in the video description. And yeah, that's pretty much me done for today, so thank you so much. This little one sat on my knee. You find it got comfy? Yeah, good girl. Alright, thank you for watching and we'll see you again really, really soon. Bye.